Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Secretary Hagel, General Dempsey, Mr. Hale. Thank you for your extraordinary service and your testimony this morning. I greatly appreciate the commitment to the rebalance in the fiscal year 2015 budget. I think there is more that our government can do to support it, but I'm very grateful for what they have done so far. Last year's Defense Authorization Bill made important progress on the realignment of Marines from Okinawa to Guam, and I am grateful for that. The governor of Okinawa signing the landfill permit was a critical milestone and showed good faith from Japan to move forward. However, there are still restrictions in law on the obligation and expenditures of these funds. How important is it to remove these restrictions so that we can spend their funds? And do you hear from Japan about this matter? Mr. Secretary.
Obviously, Japan is a very key, important partner. We count on Japan, that relationship. We have a mutual defense treaty with Japan, working closely with the government of Japan and what they're doing, the TIPI-2 radar site, which they agreed on last year. As you note, the Futenma move and the landfill permit. So we'll continue to stay closely aligned with Japan as we see an Asia-Pacific expand, become more and more important to the world affairs, our economy, our relationships with our rebalance. That partnership will remain strong.
Would there be any way that we could lift these restrictions on this spending of these funds?
Yeah, on Okinawa? Well, as you know, and as you've noted in your comments, we'll be moving and rotating Marines, rotating now in Australia, moving them to Guam, doing the things that you're well aware of. Again, I would say, in answer to your question about restriction of funds or any area touching those funds, we've tried to balance the requirements that we think we need for our future, and especially as we stay committed to the Asia-Pacific.
Thank you. I have another question for you, Mr. Secretary. Can you comment on the importance of the National Guard State Partnership Program? I noted that the QDR talks about the importance of building capacity partnership, and the SPP program does just that, and I know our combatant commanders are very supportive of this. Are we looking to expand this program further in the Pacific and Africa Command's AOR?
Well, those relationships continue to be very strong. I'm going to ask the Chairman if he'd like to respond to this. It will continue to be strong. It's been very effective, and we look forward to find ways to broaden and expand it. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
And we reflected the support of the program in the budget. And in fact, just this last week, there were 2 more nations entered into the state partnership program. Yeah, it's a very effective program.
Since I am the ranking member on Readiness Subcommittee, I wonder if you could just briefly, if not here because of the time situation, discuss the readiness consequences if the anticipated savings needed to fund improved readiness are not achieved in the coming year. What is the most serious risk if this should occur?
Well, as you know, Congressman, we submit a readiness report monthly, and it has reflected the fact that given not only the depth but the mechanism of sequestration, we've had no choice, literally no choice, but to go and raid our readiness accounts in order to find the money to achieve the depth of the reductions. And so we have about a 2 or 3 year significant readiness hole that we need to begin to fill back in. And it's one of the reasons I'm very supportive of the $26 billion ad, because in general terms, about 40% of that would go to readiness, about 40% to modernization, about 20% to sustainment, repair, and maintenance of facilities that are underinvested in right now in the current budget.
Thank you, General. And I yield back, Mr. Chair.